Guys, listen. If you're considering to leave Apple, do it right now before it's too late. Yes, this is going to be a little bit of a rant video. Let's go. Happy whatever the day of the week this is. My name's Eric, and we gotta talk about Apple. Oh, Apple's doing some cringy things, and I'm very, very worried. Myself, like a lot of people, I use a lot of Apple's products. My main phone is an iPhone 8 Plus right here. I have a MacBook Pro. It's fine, whatever. I have an iPad. I like it. It's a great tablet experience. But every step of the way, Apple is trying to lock you more and more into their products, and that is frustrating at best. However, let me back up for a split second right here. Why would you want to leave Apple? Now, this is personal preference. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. For me, my issue is relying solely on Apple hardware. I have a new MacBook Pro. It's great, but I'm not happy about its thermals. Also, I'm not happy about the keyboard. The iPad's fine. The new iPad Pro, although there might be some quality control issues, I do like the design. It's fine. The iPhone, though, on the other hand, this is an A+, a little bit dated. Even the, iPhone XR and the newer ones, I like them. But there's just not a lot of options. If I had an Android phone, I could go to a plethora of different companies and get the exact phone that will fit my needs. But if you're with Apple, I'm limited to, what, 3 different versions of the iPhone? It's really not enough. Oh, and by the way, none of the iPhones have USB Type-C. Come on. Funny enough, though, I think Apple kind of knows that they don't always offer enough to their consumers. And that's why they're really trying to, take every step they can to keep you locked in. And that's ever so prevalent with Apple's services. Now, for those who don't know, Apple had an event last month and they unveiled a couple services. Before we even get to that though, what services have Apple been already offering? Well, the first that comes to mind is Apple Music, a music subscription service similar to Spotify. Apple Music seems fine. It really comes down to personal preference. I use Spotify because I like to be able to use it on any device without any issue. Apple Music is definitely a bit more limiting. Apple also has iCloud Drive, similar to like Dropbox or Google Drive. I don't really think there's a need to have iCloud Drive though if you don't have Apple products, but those are the 2 that come to mind. So regardless, what are Apple's new services that came out? Well, let's kind of get rid of 2. First off, Apple's new TV channel subscription service. Like a lot of things that Apple announced recently, we don't have a ton of information. We don't know about price and all the technicalities. However, Apple's TV channel subscription service is going to be available on other smart TVs besides just like an Apple TV box. So surprisingly, that's not really that locked in, so let's kind of push that aside. Next up, we have Apple's News Plus subscription service. If you want magazines, if you want news, you can subscribe for, I think it's $9.99 a month and get access to paid magazines. I don't really have too much of an opinion about this News Plus subscription service. I don't really care about it, and I think there are other ways to get your magazine subscription services if you need them, so let's push that aside. So that leads us to 2 other subscription services that Apple announced: Apple Arcade and Apple Card. So first off, Apple Arcade. Apple Arcade is going to be a subscription service for games. You can go on to the App Store on your iPhone, sign up for however much it's going to cost per month. We don't know the monthly amount, and you'll be able to access Apple's exclusive game titles on not only your iOS device, your iPhone and iPad, but also a Mac. Now, I will be honest, Apple Arcade seems like a good idea. Right now, Apple's iOS App Store is a disaster in terms of games. There's not a ton of great games out there. The market is full of these free games that have a ton of ads and they kind of suck. So Apple Arcade is potentially a way to get better titles on the iPhone that are higher quality, no ads, yada, yada, yada. Sounds great. However, the issue is, how exclusive are these titles going to be? Will they not be available anywhere? You have to have an Apple Arcade subscription service to get the games. Or will they be on like Apple Arcade and then maybe like the PlayStation or the Xbox? Or will some of these titles be on PC? They did use the word exclusive, but like, we don't really know. I might not be a huge gamer, but when I do play games here and there, I'm typically gaming on a PC on Steam. And funny enough, Steam tried to send an app to Apple called Steam Link, their streaming service. So if I have a PC, which is technically behind me through the wall, I could open up, let's say, GTA 5 and stream it to my iPhone, and then maybe with a Bluetooth controller, play GTA 5 on my iPhone, which is actually being played on my computer. It's a cool concept. I enjoy it. You do need good internet, but I digress. The issue is Apple has denied that app. They said no to Steam because it's going to have business conflict. So Apple really doesn't want any competitors to Apple Arcade. Moving on though, Apple Card. Apple's credit card. A tech company making a credit card. I don't know why. Oh, wait, I do know why. Because they want you to be locked into their service. If you get an Apple Card, you have to use an iPhone to access that card, to pay that card off. If you switch to Android and get rid of Apple, you're going to probably have to cancel your credit card, which can affect your credit score. And a lot of people know that's not going to cut it. So they're probably just going to say, no, I'll keep the iPhone. I'll buy the next iPhone because, you know, I have an Apple credit card. I get to give Apple more money. Just at the end of the day, Apple is just being a bully. They already control the hardware that we use. And now they're even trying to control more of the software. They're trying to make their software more lock-inable, I guess could be a word. Now, I will say, there is one thing Apple could do pretty much across the board. Cross-platform compatibility. If they unveiled Apple Arcade, then heck, launch it on, say, the Android ecosystem. Then I'll be able to play all my games on any device, and guess what? Apple is still gonna make money with Apple Arcade if it's on my Android device, if it's on a Windows device. I get there is a lot of work to make everything compatible, but like, come on. Apple, work with us a little bit. Stop making me buy an iPhone when I just want a phone with USB Type-C, but you probably won't unveil USB Type-C phones. I'm frustrated. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Apple is the worst company. I'm not saying you need to leave Apple. All I'm saying is, if you're considering to leave Apple, if you have an issue with Apple and you're like, maybe that Samsung phone is looking better or that Huawei phone is looking better, you might just want to do it now. Because if you wait any longer, if you wait till Apple Arcade comes out, and then you sign up for Apple Arcade and then fall in love with a game in Apple Arcade or try out Apple's credit card, all of a sudden it's going to be even harder for you to leave. And I'm sure Apple's going to be working on even more services next year that'll make you locked in even more and more and more until you're stuck. Some people think they're stuck right now because of iMessage. I mean, I feel that. I love using iMessage. But that's the least of my concerns right now. I'll have even more concerns when Apple actually unveils all these other services. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you trying to leave Apple? What are you doing? I don't know. Will I actually be leaving Apple? I don't know. We'll find out. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comments. Anyway, like this video, subscribe for the next, and I will catch you in the next video. Stupid train.